Om Namah Shivaya listeners. Today's video contains a 1-minute apology from my side. The topic that why Adi Shakti Devi Durga is sitting on the loin. To answer this question, I have divided this into 4 parts. First of all, the how universe is divided. Second, the timing of Navratri. Third, the transition of energy from one form to the 9th form of Devi Durga. And finally, the answer is the 4th part. So let's begin. First, I am starting with the apology part. Sorry for being late. Actually, my son met with an accident and injured his eye, and his eyes were being, bandaged for 2 or 3 days. So I had to take care of him like a baby. So just no time after managing all the things. So a sincere apology from my side. Now I am quickly telling you about the topic which I am about to discuss with you. The topic is why the Adi Shakti Devi Durga is sitting on the loin. First of all, to understand that, we need to understand basically what is Durga Ma or who is Durga Ma. So for that, we are moving on to the first part, that how the Vedas and Puranas divide our universe. They divide the universe into basically 2 forms, Adi Purush and Adi Shakti. Adi Purush is basically the cosmic being, the self, the Atman of the very universe, and Adi Shakti is the power or the energy with which Purusha is running the universe. And this Adi Shakti is our Durga Ma or the Yog Maya or the Mahamaya, in whatever form you might worship her, but she is the same. She can have different names, different forms. And why the Navratris are very special for her, for us. So first of all, moving on to the second part, that is the timing of the Navratri. Have you noticed that every time the Navratri comes, there is a change of season? That is from Basant Ritu or autumn fall to the summer, or from fall to the winters, and vice versa. And when the seasons change, something interesting happens in the very universe we are living in. That is equinoxes and solstices. You must have read these about when you were a kid, or you must have read it again when you are teaching your kid about these. So basically, equinoxes is when day and night are equal, and the energy level or the equator level are so aligned that both the nights and daylights almost become equal. And during solstices, one pole of earth becomes more aligned or more near to the sun, so that at one point the daylights become so long and the nights become very shorter, and vice versa in the other hemisphere. So why these things are very important? Because of their axis rotation and their alignment with each other makes the flow of energy more easy. That is, when you ask the universe for the energy to affect you in a most positive manner, the universe is ready to align with your energies and give you the results very soon or very fast. So that is basically the significance of each Navratris. So now you got a basic idea of the energy. Now take it inside you, that how these energies are affecting you. In your own body, the Atman or the self, that is what we call, is the Adi Purush, and the energies with which your body is running or you are doing your everything, that is the Adi Shakti. And when these Navratris come, we are on fast. We are on a journey from 1st to 9th Navratra, that is the different forms of Mother Durga, and each form represents a energy level of your body. So let's talk about the energy transformation from one form of Durga to the 9th form. See, the very first form, that is the Shailputri, it in itself is the form of higher consciousness. You cannot have negative energies or have confused energies at the very first level of the Adi Durga level. You have to have your conscious at the higher level, that is your higher conscious energy level will at or will have a movement forward if you have a higher consciousness. Then the second level comes of Brahmacharini Mata. That is a established energy in the divine consciousness. When you have gained at the first level the higher consciousness, then the next step will come the consciousness to enter into the divinity. Then the third level is the Chandraghanta Mata. That is now, after moving your consciousness to the divinity, you have to maintain there. Chandra means mind and Ghanta means your thoughts. Now your thoughts are in divine consciousness, so you have to maintain it there. Okay. The fourth is Kushmanda Mata. That is Ku means little, Ushma means energy, and means egg. That is the little energy egg. That is now you have imbibed the universal energy and now you are making yourself ready to reproduce. That is where the Skand Mata comes into being. That is the motherly aspects of Devi, where she is sitting with her son, protecting her with fierce and fearful movements. Okay. Then comes the sixth form, that is the Katyani Mata. That energy is to kill the demons inside and outside. Now this form is very important for the spiritual awakening, because even if you enter the divine consciousness, it is not easy to maintain it there. Many things like Kama, Krodha, Lobha, these are the devils. These are the devils which we have to kill. So here the form of Katyani Mata comes into being to kill them. Okay, then we reach the Kal Ratri. After killing the demon, we have reached to a extreme darkened point which contains the innumerable universes. That means now we have reached the consciousness to the higher level, maintained it there, killed the demons. Now what? Now we have reached to the universal energy level where we are one with the universe. Universe represents itself in the innumerable darkness ways. So that is what Kal Ratri Mata signifies, and that is how she is being picturized also. So now our energies are spreading throughout the universe and the universe is too dark. Then comes the Mahagauri. As after every night comes the morning, so after the Ratri comes the Gauri. That is the brightness of the momentum and the freedom. Because now we have attained what we wanted to, and now our energy level is at a momentum rate that we feel free. Because this is a very misnomer point of free, because this is free like we are free from any negativity or free from any negative impact of the universe. So the positivity spreads itself, so we are free in a very positive manner, not to attract or not to give some negativity outside in the universe. Then comes the Siddhidatri. Now when we have attained all the beforehand 8 levels, now what is left? Now we are to get from the universe, because we have done so much efforts and our energy transformation from first level to the 8th level brings the Mother Nature to us to bestow us with different extraordinary capabilities and boons. Hopefully now you are more clear about the concept of Adi Devi or Adi Shakti Durga. If you have any doubts, then do let me know, and please have some questions so that you can understand it better. And the main point of this video was to why she is sitting on the loin. So now you understood what Adi Devi or what Adi Shakti means. So why she is sitting on a loin represent that the Shakti is so powerful that even the most violent, most ferocious animal is conquered by the Shakti in both the ways. First way, if she has to fight, then also she is sitting on the top of the loin, that is, she is more powerful than the loin. And if she wants to subjugate the violent nature, then also she is sitting on the loin. So you have to choose that what you want to be, what your Shakti want to be. You want to be more violent than loin and sit on it, or you want to subjugate the loin and sit on it. being calm and peaceful. So it depends upon you. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any doubts regarding the video or any thoughts, then please let me know. Our next topic will be, if you want to really make Shivji the Guru, the Adi Guru for yourself, then we'll be discussing the procedure that how do you make Shiva, Lord Shiva as your Adi Guru. So Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Mahadev.